Hi everyone, this is Kiwi from the live community team, and today I'll be showing you how to install a Palo Alto virtual machine on VMware Fusion. VMware Fusion is just an example of a desktop hypervisor which allows you to run virtual machines on your Mac OS. Of course, you can use your preferred hypervisor product. Some examples are VMware Workstation, VirtualBox, Hyper-V, Altaro VM. Those are just a few examples. But as I said, I'll be using VMware Fusion in this example. So first of all, you'll need the Palo Alto Firewall VM series base image. You can find these in the support portal. So you need to log in to the support portal at support.paloaltonetworks.com. And you will find the base images under Updates, Software Updates, and there in the drop-down, go to Panos for VM series base images. From here, you can download the Panos version you would like to download and install as a virtual machine. If you're not sure which version you want, then I suggest that you visit the Panos software release guidance page on Live Community. This page is reviewed weekly and it provides guidance on which Panos version is currently the most preferred one or the most stable one. For example, if you move down, in the Panos 10.1 software, you will see that currently 10.1.3 is the preferred version. In Panos 10.0, 10.0.8 hotfix 8 is the preferred version, and so on. Now in this scenario, I'm going for a virtual machine running Panos version 10.1. So going back to the support portal, I'll be downloading 10.1.3, which was the preferred version. So go ahead and download this OVA file, which we'll be using in our VMware Fusion. Alright, we have downloaded the OVA file, so let's hop on over to VMware Fusion and import it. Once you're in VMware Fusion, you can go ahead and import the downloaded OVA file through File, New, and you can drag and drop the image here in Install from Disk or Image, or you can double-click Import an existing virtual machine. Choose a file, select the file we just downloaded, click Open, and Continue. Give your virtual machine a meaningful name. I called mine PALab 10.1.3, hit Save, and give it a few minutes to import. Once it's imported, you will get a nice summary overview of the allocated memory, the guest operating system. You have 3 NICs, all of them are bridged at the moment, 2 CPU cores, and the CD and DVD drive enabled. If you hit Finish, the device will try and boot up automatically. Instead, we will go to Customize Settings. The settings will look like this. You will have your system settings, removable devices, and other. As mentioned before, you will have 3 network adapters. All of them are currently bridged, meaning that they will use my Wi-Fi network. Network adapter 1 will be the management interface of the firewall. Network adapter 2 will be the external facing interface of the firewall. I'm not going to bother with network adapter 3 for the moment. That's going to be another video where I'm going to install a Linux client on a virtual LAN going through the firewall to the internet. But that's for another video. This video I'm going to focus on getting the network adapter 1 and 2, the management interface and the external facing interface, making sure we have internet access from our firewall. Just making sure that they are bridged auto-detect. You can also select Wi-Fi. This is my Wi-Fi network. The 116 is the IP address of my workstation I'm currently working on. So the management interface is going to be in that same subnet. Network adapter 2, same thing. That's going to be the external facing interface. It's going to be in the same network. And as I said, we're not going to bother with network adapter 3 at the moment. So right now I'm going to disable it. This is something we will look into in another video where I'm going to add a bigger test environment. So right now we are ready to boot up our lab device. So close this and start it up. Don't bother upgrading. Now, as you all know, the default username and password is admin. But as you can see, it's not going to work just yet. We usually need a few more minutes to fully boot up the device. It's asking me my system password to basically enable the interfaces on the virtual machine. As you notice, the logon prompt changed, but it's still not going to work. Still too soon. It's saying that I got a new IP address, 192.168.0.159. That's an IP address on my Wi-Fi. And now I should be okay to log in. Since it's my first login, it's asking me to enter the new password. So I'm going to enter the old one, which was admin. Enter my new super secure password. Confirm it. There we go, we are logged in to our firewall. We can do show system info. And there it's showing us that we have an IP address 192.168.0.159, which is our management interface. And we got that through Dhcp. So what if you don't want to have this IP address? You want to specify your own IP address for your management interface. We can do that. So first we need to change the IP assignment. As you can see, it's now set to Dhcp. So we're going to set that to static. And then we're going to put on a new IP address on the management interface. And then we're going to connect to it through the GUI. So in order to change the IP assignment type from Dhcp to static, you need to go to configure mode. So you tap configure and you do set device config system type static. And now we can put on a new IP address with the command set device config system IP address .192.168.0.75, for example. Net mask, that didn't change. Default gateway didn't change. And we're going to set DNS servers. And I'm just going to use 8888. Don't forget to commit that. Exit configuration mode. Show system info again. And as you can see, our IP address has changed to 192.168.0.159. .0.75, and now we are going to use the GUI and connect to it. So from your favorite browser, just browse to the management IP address. You can ignore the certificate warning and log in. We are logged into our firewall. We can go ahead and add some basic configuration. So let's go to the Device tab, Setup, Management. Once the page is loaded, click that cogwheel to edit the general settings. We can add a host name. We can add a time zone. I'm in Europe. Hit OK. Go to Services, Edit. We can add an NTP server. And since I'm in Belgium, I'm going to use be.pool.ntp.org. Hit OK. So let's go ahead and commit that. And when that's committed successfully, we can close this, go back to the dashboard, and we can confirm that the date and time are correct. Moving forward to the Network tab, remember that Ethernet 1/1 was going to be our external interface. So we will start by adding a zone. So go to Zones and click Add. Name your zone. I'm going to call it External. Type is going to be a layer 3. Click OK. Add a virtual router. I'm going to name mine VR1. And now I'm going to apply that to my interface. So go back to Interfaces, select Ethernet 1/1. The interface type is going to be layer 3. The virtual router is going to be VR1. And the security zone is going to be external. IPv4, click Add, and I'm going to give it an IP address in my Wi-Fi network. 192.168.0.70/24. We can go to the Advanced tab, and I'm going to add a management profile as well for future use. Since this is an external interface, I'm not going to allow management on it, just going to allow ping on it. So enable ping, call it ping profile, click OK, and hit OK. Now go and let's add a default gateway. So we go back to the virtual routers, select our VR1, static routes, add. We can just name it default gateway. The destination is going to be the any route, so that's 0.0.0.0/0. It's going to be on the external interface. The next hop is going to be an IP address, and my default gateway on my Wi-Fi network is 192.168.0.1. Hit OK, hit OK, and let's go ahead and commit that. Once that committed successfully, click Close, and our link state on the Ethernet 1/1 interface has turned green. So let's check out our connectivity to the internet. To test that, just go back to the CLI interface and do a ping host 8.8.8.8. So this ping is going out of our management interface. Ping source 192.168.0.70 host 8888. So now we are going to ping from our external facing interface, and we also have connectivity. Just making sure that our DNS is working as well. So we have set up our VM, have an external facing interface and a management interface, and we have connectivity to the internet. This concludes this lab for the moment. In the next video, I'll be installing a Linux virtual machine on a virtual private network, and I will test connectivity through the Palo Alto device I just configured here. So I hope this is useful for some of you. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you later.